I have got to start making a script for these videos because I just go on these long-winded rants. Hello everyone, my name is Emily and welcome to another video on Emily XO. If you are new here, welcome. As I said, my name is Emily. I put up various beauty, lifestyle, miscellaneous videos every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have decided on Wednesdays. I was trying the Monday, Tuesday thing, but it wasn't really working and they were always going up on Wednesdays, so we're gonna stick to Wednesdays. I think that's a good day. Besides, Wednesdays, middle of the week, you can use this video as a little pick-me-up. But if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I know things have been a little bit crazy here, but we are going to get started into a brand new video today. You can probably figure out what's going on by the title of this video, but before we jump into it, I just want to say something super duper duper exciting. Today, September 5th, when this video goes live, is the 1-year anniversary of my YouTube channel, which is crazy. I cannot believe I've actually been doing videos for an entire year. I have been wanting to do YouTube since I was probably like 12 or 13, and I would start random channels here or there and put up 3-4 videos and then lose interest or this, that, or the other thing, and I would just give up. But I have been here for a whole year, so shout out to me and shout out to you guys for still watching my videos. But like I said, you can probably tell from the title of the video what we're going to be talking about today. It is September, it is a brand new month, it is officially fall spooky season. I am super duper excited. I've got a coffee candle burning in the background and the weather is dark and dreary and I feel my Halloween soul coming alive. But today we are talking about the book P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han is the book of the month for the month of August. If you have no idea what we're talking about as far as book of the month, in the beginning of 2018 I decided I wanted to read a new book every single month and review it for you guys. I will go ahead and link the playlist up in the eye here and down in the below in the description so you guys can see what it's all about, and you can still join us. It's a new book every month, so if you are interested in any of them, you can go ahead and start reading along with us. So this book, as I mentioned in the last book of the month video for July, this book I decided to read at the beginning of the year, but I could not have timed it better because P.S. I Still Love You is a sequel to the book To All the Boys I Loved Before, which if you have been living under a rock, you may have never heard of, but if you have been anywhere on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any social media platform, you will have heard To All the Boys I Loved Before is a new Netflix movie that everybody is absolutely raving about. I also watched the movie To All the Boys I Loved Before, and let me say, it was such a good movie. A lot of people are giving it crap for being a cliche teeny bop movie, but honestly that is the reason that I loved it. I thought it was just so cute and cliched romantic that it warmed my heart. It made me feel like a lovesick teenager all over again. It was great. I thought the actors in it too were absolutely fantastic. The chemistry between them was unreal, and honestly, who didn't fall in love with Peter Kavinsky at least a little bit? Alright, so hopefully by now you have either seen the movie or read the book To All the Boys I've Loved Before, but in case you haven't, I am going to give you just a little bit of background so you know exactly what's going on. So what happens is, our main character here, Laura Jean, she writes a love letter every time she has a crush so intense that she doesn't know what to do with it. These letters are just for her safekeeping, basically a way to get her emotions out on paper and help her understand what's going on in her head, which honestly I think is a great idea because as a teenage girl, crushes and life and love can be so confusing. But anyway, she writes these letters and she keeps them safe in this teal hat box that her mother gave to her when she was young. And then all of a sudden one day the letters are out. All 5 boys received their letters. So there are 5 letters written in total. There is Peter Kavinsky, who Laura Jean used to be friends with way back in the days. There is Josh Sanderson, who is Laura Jean's next door neighbor and also her sister Margot's boyfriend. There is Kenny from camp, Lucas from Homecoming in the 8th grade, and Josh Ambrose McLaren from Model UN. So the basic premise of the story is she writes these letters, they get out, and because Josh happens to be her next door neighbor and her sister's boyfriend. She's not really sure what to do with that, so she ends up fake dating Peter to make Josh think that she no longer has feelings for him, which she kind of does, kind of doesn't. It's not super duper clear, but she doesn't want to make things weird or hurt her sister in any way. So she starts to fake date Peter Kavinsky, who is also trying to make his ex-girlfriend Genevieve, who happens to be Laura Jean's ex-best friend, jealous because she started dating this college guy. Alright, so I don't want to do spoilers, but I kind of have to do a little bit of spoilers because this is a sequel, so I'm sorry about that. If you haven't seen the movie To All the Boys I've Loved Before and you haven't read the book, I would recommend you go watch it or read it before watching this video, because I'm not going to spoil this book, but I do have to spoil a little bit of this book in order for my explanation of this one to make sense. So this book and movie do end a little bit differently. In the movie, I'm sure to no one's real surprise, Peter and Laura Jean end up having real feelings for each other and they get together. However, in the book, they actually are still on bad terms when the book ends, and Laura Jean is still heartbroken and not really sure where to go from there. But the sequel picks up pretty much immediately following. There is like no time jump or anything like that, but Peter and Laura Jean do end up getting back together pretty shortly after the book starts. So this one is following their relationship again, but as a plot twist, there is a new boy slash old boy, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it, who comes into Laura Jean's life and kind of shake things up a little bit. So we'll go ahead and we'll read the little inside snippet here. Laura Jean didn't expect to really fall for Peter. They were just pretending, until they weren't. And now Laura Jean has to learn what it's like to be in a real relationship and not just a make-believe one. But when another boy from her past returns to her life, Laura Jean's feelings for him suddenly return too. Can a girl be in love with two boys at once? In this charming and heartfelt sequel to the New York Times bestseller To All the Boys I've Loved Before, Laura Jean is about to find out that falling in love is the easy part. Alright, so let me just say, I really did enjoy this one. It is definitely your cliche, sappy teen romance novel, and I know I said a couple reviews ago that I was kind of over that, but this one, something about this one just like captures my heart. I really love it. It is so teenagery. The author does such a great job of really capturing teenage feelings, thoughts, and emotions and brings them to life in this book, which I really like. I think I did read this one, the first book, a couple years ago, about a year ago. So I've moved out of the age that like Laura Jean and Peter are. They're juniors, I believe, in high school is where that's set. So I'm not that age anymore, but still it takes me back to that time when you have a crush on somebody and love is so new and so exciting and everything like that, but also high school is hard and relationships are hard and ex-girlfriends suck and everything like that. So even though this is very much a cliche teen romance, I love it. It captures my heart. And actually there is a third book that is called Always and Forever Laura Jean. I have already ordered that. It will be here on Friday, September 7th, so next week. I'm very excited to dig into that because I just really need to know what happens with these books because I have become invested in these characters. I think if you like that kind of story, this is such a good series to read. I think what I also really like about these books is, especially with the sequel, it really highlights how intense high school relationships feel, but at the same time, how young and inexperienced you can be. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not saying that high school love cannot be very real. I'm just saying that in high school, everything feels so big and so much and so emotional, and everything good feels like you're at the top of the mountain and everything bad feels like it's the end of the world. And as you grow up, you realize that, you know, it's not as big a deal. Like, high school isn't your entire life like it feels like it is when you're in high school. So I think especially reading these post those years really helps me understand how dramatic high school can be. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those people that thought high school was the best years of my life, because I really don't. I think honestly the best years of my life are now, what I'm living currently. I was not the popular girl in high school. I did not get all the boys, anything like that. So I think it's just, I remember how dramatic I was. Like, I have Time Hop. If you don't know what that app is, it's that one where you can sync it to all your social medias, and it shows you what you tweeted or posted or everything like that, like a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And like 2 years ago me isn't so bad. Even 3 years ago I'm okay, but you start going back 4+ years, I was so dramatic. Like, everything was the end of the world, and my crushes were just so intense. I did have a boyfriend my senior year of high school, and we only dated for like 2 months. Yeah, I think 2 months. And he ended up breaking up with me, and it just, I was devastated. I was heartbroken. Like, I thought it was the end of everything. And so that is a super long tangent, but basically what I just love about this book is how it brings all of those feelings and thought to life without it feeling fake, like it was written by an adult, and without it feeling mocking. Because a lot of times you can get that vibe where they're mocking how teenagers feel, but I don't think that's really what we want to do. And I think that's part of the criticism that the movie is getting, is that it's so, I guess, unrealistic. And don't get me wrong, the Nicholas Sparks type romance can be unrealistic in high school, but the way that they feel about everything, the way that you go from such an extreme high to such an extreme low, and how intense and dramatic it is, I think that is real. I think that is how a lot of people in high school feel, and I enjoy it. That was such a longer tangent than I planned, but hopefully that all makes sense. Basically, to summarize that, long story short, too long didn't read, too long didn't watch. I just love how realistically high school this felt. That being said, I want to move into a couple of the things that I didn't enjoy, and that is the fact of the characters, to me, didn't feel like they had growth. Now, I understand that these do take place in a very short amount of time. They're about, I think between this book and this book, a school year, roughly. School year, maybe a school year and a half. Because school had just started in the start of this one. Then it ends at winter break, and then this one picks up at winter break, and I think it runs through somewhat the end of the year. Not exactly. But regardless, there's not a huge span of time, but they're basically, the people that they are in the beginning are pretty close to the people that they are towards the end of the book. I think Laura Jean, our main character, has the most growth, but even still, all of the supporting characters still feel very much the same. I just feel like there's a lot that they don't learn, they don't grow from, which, I mean, I guess going back to my first point of this is very realistically high school, makes sense, because most people in high school don't grow up within a school year. Some do, some don't, but a lot of people stay the same. It's frustrating because I feel like the same issues play out repeatedly. One of the big issues is Peter's ex-girlfriend Genevieve, who also happens to be Laura Jean's ex-best friend. And Genevieve stopped being friends with Laura first. Laura Jean didn't end the friendship, Genevieve did. So there's this whole big triangle thing of Laura and Genevieve not liking each other, but Peter still caring about Genevieve because that was his girlfriend, that was, one of his first loves, but Peter also still having feelings for Laura Jean. So like, it's this weird triangle that, especially in the second book, it's just, I don't get it. I don't get Genevieve's mindset mostly. She is very upset with Laura Jean for something that happened in 8th grade. And I can't imagine that as a junior in high school, holding a grudge against someone over something that, in my opinion, is kind of petty. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it, but basically, Genevieve just seems like a very cruel character for no real reason. But I also get that we're getting everything from Laura Jean's point of view. So she's obviously feeling jealous of the relationship that Genevieve and Peter had at one point. So maybe that's why, to me, Jen feels like a very one-dimensional character. She doesn't feel fleshed out. She doesn't feel like she has true purpose behind her actions. And maybe it's just because this all comes from Laura Jean's point of view, and so therefore we don't get Jen's side of it. But she just feels like your stereotypical mean girl who has no purpose other than to be mean. So I don't like that. I don't like the lack of growth. I don't like how one-dimensional some of the supporting characters are. I just feel like really overall the characters, they don't change a lot, they don't grow, and they don't feel fleshed out as full people. Now the movie does help with that. To All the Boys I've Loved Before, obviously Peter Kavinsky has been put on a pedestal as the men among men. All boys should want to be him, all girls should want to date him, everything like that, which is actually what they make him out to be in the books too. Like, he is Mr. Cool, Mr. Everybody Wants. But I think that the actor who played Peter Kavinsky, which I want to say his name is Noah Centineo, I'll add that in case I'm wrong. But he did a really good job with the character. I just think, I don't know, I guess part of the things I dislike about the book also tie in with the things I like about the book, because as I was saying, I like how high school it is, and then I was thinking about how utterly naive, I guess we're gonna go with naive, Peter is, and how oblivious. Naive and oblivious, that's the words I'm going to use here, he is. And then, you know, I have to remember he is a high school boy. So I guess I was thinking about what I wanted to say, what I liked, what I didn't like. I always do that. And now I'm like coming to this realization as I'm filming here for you guys that what I like and what I don't like mirror each other. So I like how high school it is, but then I don't like how high school it is. So, you know, that's a little interesting revelation I've had. But I think overall, it was a good book. It's really cute. It's really fun. It's not something to take too seriously, but you feel for the characters. You get invested in their lives and their thoughts and emotions, especially Laura Jean's. Like, she's just so cute, so adorable. Like, I love her as a character. I think she's so fun and quirky and just a little bit different. I can relate to her a lot, which I think might be part of the reason I like this, because she's very much a bookworm. She's very much your stereotypical nerdy girl. You know, she's not the popular kid. She's not the one going to parties every night or every weekend, anything like that. Like, she doesn't go to all the football games, and she's very relatable, but I very much take heart to that because that was me in high school. I feel like I didn't talk about the book that much, but I did. It's because I'm trying not to spoil it. I think is really what's coming down to it, is I don't want to spoil it, so I don't want to say too much. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the third book. Like I said, it gets here Friday. I'll keep you guys posted as I read that one, because I think it was a really good series and I did really enjoy it. So I am excited to read that one. I think overall, I liked this book. I liked this book a lot. It was so cute and so cute. I really hope they make a sequel, like a sequel movie. I'm intrigued though, because like I said, the book and the movie for To All the Boys I've Loved Before ended differently, but they do tease, in the first movie, they do tease the second book a little bit in a way. It's different though. I don't know how they're gonna make it play out, like if they do follow that exactly, but they do tease who the boy from Laura's past is, which is exciting. So yeah, I want them to make a second movie because it was just so cute. And Laura and Peter they just had so much chemistry. It was so adorable. The little lunchroom scene where he spins her. Oh, so cute, man. I just want to live in a sappy romance novel. I think that's enough rambling. I think that's enough tangenting. I hope you guys stuck with me through all of what I was talking about here. But So I really enjoyed this series. I'm excited to read the next one. I also will say that Jenny Han wrote another series that I didn't finish, but I liked the first book, 2 books. But it is the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy, which is kind of another cliche-ish romance, but I would go check that one out as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit random, rambly, tangenty, but I think my message came across that I enjoyed the book, and I'm excited to read the next one. I'm enjoying all of it right now, and I'm really excited, actually, another little tangent here, I'm excited to see this book get so much love. I'm really excited that this movie is getting so much attention, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, because the main character, Lara Jean, her and her sisters, they are Korean, and I think it's really exciting to see a main female lead in a romance novel be a person of color, be an Asian woman, because that's not super common. So I think it's really great that this book and everything is getting so much attention, and it's getting the amount of love that it is, because it deserves it. And I think it's really great for there to be a female lead who is also Asian. And I also like that nothing in the book or the movie, like, they talk about the fact that she's Korean, but it's not the center of anything. She just happens to be the female lead who also happens to be Korean. And that's it, end of story. I really like that. So I think that representation is a huge, huge thumbs up. I'm excited to see that. In case you would like to read along for the month of September, we are going to be reading The Third Twin by C.J. Amalalu. Sorry, I'll work on the pronunciation of that. But this is going to be September's book. I am very excited because this is kind of a horror one. So we're going to delve back into that just in time for Halloween. So yeah, we will go ahead, we'll read this one here. And if you are interested in joining along, please do so. You have the entire month of September to read it, starting now. And of course, the review of it will go up first week-ish of October. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up, and if you have not already, please hit that bell button that does notify you every single time I post, which will be Wednesdays from here on out, 7 p.m. And I think that's about it. So I will see you all very soon. Bye.